Today we're going to be decorating a townhouse in Sminster. So this one is going to be for the Murray family. If you follow my blog, you'll know that Lancaster Murray is about to marry his childhood sweetheart, Anne Duckworth. We're going to have them living here rather than at his family home of Brookvale, just to give them a little bit of space. Both his parents are still alive, so they want to be independent, and it means that Anne gets to have a season in town, which I'm super excited for as well. So we're just giving them a really simple bathroom. Not much to it really, just mirror, sink, chamber pot and a bath, which I mean they probably wouldn't even have had. So this bottom floor is going to be for the servants, so there's going to be, I think there's 3 or 4 servant rooms, a storeroom, a kitchen, and there's going to be a little alcove for like a visiting servant. So I'm just going to choose the wood floors first. I went through a couple before I was sort of happy with it. This room that we're looking at now is the cook's room, so it's where the cook's going to live. She doesn't have a husband. Normally, if I have a cook, they usually marry the butler or a footman, but this cook is going to be single. I love these beds. So the whole like cottage set by Sunny is just absolutely beautiful. I really thought I'd put that bench there, and then I ended up changing a little bit later. I keep forgetting about the lighting as well. I did say that I do that a lot. So I like to give the servants' rooms, like the other servants' rooms are going to be very basic. They're just like beds, candles, dressers. The cook is a little bit more important, so they get a really nice sort of room to themselves. They don't have to share, and they can sort of personalise it and jazz it up a little bit. Trying to find things in these collection folders sometimes impossible. I should have given them like individualized pictures, but I didn't think of it, and now it's way too late. So imagine this cook is a little bit of a crafty woman. So she's going to have a little bit of embroidery. She probably made the patchwork quilt that's on her bed. She's a bit like that. She's very, very clever. And the plates on the wall, I feel like they were throwing them out. They were the old plates, the old dinner set. They didn't want them anymore, so she's decided that she'll put them in her room and use them as decoration or something. So because these rooms are servants' quarters, they're going to be fairly basic. These ones in particular, these other 3 rooms, they're not individualised at all. They're all pretty much exactly the same. They're going to have the same beds and the same furniture. They're going to be for like our maids, our footmen, anyone else who would sort of be the mainstay of the household, essentially. And then, like I said, there'll be a little alcove for any sort of visiting servants. But I think I don't do. I sort of was like not sure what to do with that section that I walled off, and then I decided to make it into like a little bed. So I've been absolutely obsessed with these cabinets. I think they're by Huge Lunatic, and I've been putting them in all my rooms. Like all my rooms. They're just really pretty and quite classically styled. Now I've done all the servants' rooms, let's get down to the kitchen. I do end up actually changing that light. I think it kind of pokes through the bottom of the next floor, so I didn't want that to happen. So I decided to use this stove. I don't really use this stove enough, I feel. And it's slave to Buggy Boo's niche and Nook set, which has thousands of amazing red colours. Now I just got to figure out how to get it functional with the fires mod, because it's got to have a functional fire. Just looking at other stoves, just like, oh, that's pretty. And my usual go-to of food replicators is going to be the same as always. There's a lot of chopping and changing when I was doing this kitchen. I change things like quite often. There we go, I got there eventually. I figured it out. So we've got some logs under the stove, and then we're going to have functional fire under the food replicator. And that little round thing you see over there is like, it's like a teleporter thing by Frack. So it will just teleport your Sims up to the next floor, kind of like stairs, but magic. I use them in my townhouses because I don't want them to have to go outside, inside, and into the dining room. I'd rather than just go up. So I kind of think of it as a bit of like a dumb waiter. I know it's kind of cheating, but we don't like that here. We do that all the time. So yeah, it just means I can go straight up to the dining room it leads to. So many OMSPs in this one, so many OMSPs. I was gonna use those crank cabinets again, not gonna lie. I was really gonna do it. I need to get out of that. I need to not put the same stuff in every house. I like to have a little bit of variety. And I have so much custom content that it doesn't make sense to not, use all of it. Or at least to use the same stuff in every single house. That doesn't make sense. So that soup you see there, I don't know if I ended up putting it back. Did I put it back? No, I didn't. It's a mood booster by Around the Sims. It's a really hacky, cheaty object. So it basically puts all their moodies up to max. I've finally got to use those flowers in pans. I wanted to use them in the previous house that we decorated, but I couldn't find a spot for them, but they fit sort of fairly perfectly here. And the meat grinder. I think I ended up using the meat grinder in this house as well, or I couldn't at the last house. Oh yeah, it is there. I already placed it. A tea set would not be functional there. My Sims won't be going down to the kitchens anytime soon. These chandeliers, this is the part where I realised that these chandeliers don't light up enough. So I think I removed them and put those candles back there. I really love these shelves, but I thought they were sort of like too deep, so I've moved them back a quarter tile. So they do stick out the back of the wall, but because it's underground, no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. I spend a little bit of time cluttering out the shelves as I do. The one thing I will say is this shelf on the left, I ended up putting a bunch of like meat on, which is absolutely not how they would store their meat. Not even a little bit. Then I realised that half the objects I have aren't even placeable on shelving. I need to fix that. I end up using a bunch of OMSPs because I can't put them on the shelves where I want them. Yeah, meat would not be stored like that. Don't worry. Not saying that, Regency or Victorian era meat storage practices were very good, but they weren't that bad. You gotta search for like that exact clutter. Although I'm not really happy with how this turned out. I just kind of wanted to get it done in the end. I was over the storeroom and all its clutter, but it turned out okay. I feel like the meat is eventually going to bother me and I will have to change it. Here's where I decide to make this little alcove. So my whole thing is like if a sim comes to visit and they've got a footman with them or someone similar, like someone who's travelled with them that's a servant, this is where they're going to sleep. I really wanted this hammock bed to work. It was not going to work. It was never going to work. So I've got a little bed for them to sleep in, and then they will have also a chest or a trunk that they would have travelled with. There we go. And I was going to like block it up, but there was like no room for a door. So I think, yeah, I ended up going with curtains, not those curtains. I really love this curtain set, like really, really love it. I probably should do recolors for it at some point, but I don't think I have. I probably should. And then they've got like a little open curtain that's like the doorway, I guess you could say. And that's it for the servants floor. So thanks for watching, and I hope you'll come back for part 2.